not very learned in Jewy things, but a friend of mine is very Jewy, and she knows Yiddish, and I can't remember the word, but I believe there is a Yiddish word that means having diarrhea at the mall. Hi, I'm Sarah Silverman, chatting with thejewishjournal.com, and I wrote a book called The Bedwetter, Stories of Courage, Redemption, and Pee. Anything I didn't want to share, I didn't. And for the most part, I'm pretty much of an open book. People said, like, how could you write about bedwetting? Was that embarrassing for you? It's like, no, I'm a grown person, and I know that that's not something to be ashamed of anymore. I was a child, I didn't really plot out what this book was going to be, or who it would be for, or what it would accomplish, or what it would, or if it would complement my persona and stand-up, or I didn't really think about any of that stuff. I just wrote a book, and I think the one consistency is that it's just honest, and except for when I'm just blatantly lying. I'll tell you what was difficult. It wasn't the exposing myself or revealing any part of myself. That's never been a problem for me, but what was difficult was just that it was really a long process, and it was lonely, and it was hard, and not as collaborative as I'm used to. Being in a writer's room or something is very different. I'm not a book writer. I'm not an author. I officially am now, but it's not what I'm used to. When I started writing, I remember I was like writing the way I thought a writer writes, and it was just so like fraudulent. I was writing the way I imagined to be very eloquent, or and then it just wasn't truthful, and I kind of had to throw it all away and just write the way I talk, except for with less likes. I've never thought of even like the arrogant, obnoxious version of me. I never thought of as Jewish American princess, or I guess I don't tend to evaluate or plan out the stuff, or have any kind of stakes on how it's perceived. But like that Jewish American princess thing, I've seen it in things written about me, but it's never been a part of my psyche. I didn't kind of really grow up with that, other than when those jokes were popular. I do know that it is a real kind of person that exists, I've seen, but even the negative kind of parts of the character, or the other kind of version of me that I do in stand-up, or I did on my Comedy Central show, didn't really come off as being specifically a Jewish-y or Jewish princess-y thing. She was just that person is like an arrogant, ignorant, person whose parents are dead. My parents are alive, who has kind of unforgivable parts about her, but that's why I made her parents be dead. I went to temple just a handful of times. My dad let us bring a book to put inside the Torah, and then after a while, I think he realized, because that's what he did, I think after a while he realized, why am I even doing this at all? Why are we doing this? And we'd go hiking on like Jewy days, because he felt like it was closer to God. But, I had all sisters, I have sisters, and we wouldn't get that bored, because we'd just look in the Torah for shit. I'm a humanist.
You're a humanist?
I don't know,
What does that mean exactly?
Well, I don't believe in being a good person and doing good things so that you don't go to hell, or out of any form of fear. I just think that you do it because it feels good, and it is good.